you have traveled down I-65 for a trip to the beach, you know the NASA rocket at the Tennessee-Alabama border. Well, it was removed last fall because experts said it was no longer stable after being in the elements for 44 years.
I miss it. Today, one of the rocket's engines arrived at its new home here in Middle Tennessee. News 2's Nikki McGee was in Springfield, where it will soon be on display.
If you thought you saw a rocket engine traveling down the interstate today, you're not crazy. This little piece of history was making its way to its new home in Springfield, Tennessee.
I was waiting on somebody to stop me at the gates leaving Marshall Space Flight Center, but nobody stopped me. Nobody looked at me weird, no cops.
But thankfully, Robert Dillard, founder of the Gateway STEM Center, didn't have to steal it at all.
It's funny. It's amazing what happens when you ask.
A few months ago, he applied to take one of the rocket's 8 engines home to Middle Tennessee. To his surprise, NASA's Artifacts program said yes. Although many were upset to see the Huntsville landmark come down, Dillard says it was for good reason.
One, they need to be light because it costs a lot of money to lift weight into space. And then two, we want them to burn up as they're coming back through the atmosphere so that they don't fall on anyone or anything. So they're not made to sit around for 40 years, and that rocket had been there for over 40 years.
The rocket actually disintegrated while being removed. And it's a landmark Mayor Ann Williams remembers fondly. But if it had to be taken down, she's glad part of it came to Springfield.
Everyone will be able to see it, come by, not have to travel, and hopefully it will spur kids on to having careers in that field.
And if it does, AirTech, which makes parts for spacecrafts, is located right in town.
Southeast is a big growth center for aerospace right now. From the gamut of the kids that want to go to college, the gamut of the kids that want to work after school, there's careers in aerospace for all of them.
You might say Dillard is over the moon to share about the Apollo mission, but he also hopes to inspire young minds to join NASA's current Artemis program.
We're not done at the moon this time. We're going to the moon to stay to live, but then after that, we're also headed to Mars. So there's opportunity, for students to see what they can do with their future.
In Springfield, Nikki McGee, News 2.
And although you will soon be able to see the rocket engine, it's not ready quite yet. First, it needs to be cleaned up, but Dillard hopes to have it on public display in Springfield in about 6 months.